North American Aerospace Defense Command, known until March 1981 as the North American Air Defense Command, is a combined organization of the United States and Canada that provides aerospace warning, air sovereignty, and defense for Northern America. Headquarters for NORAD and the NORAD, United States Northern Command Center, were located at Peterson Air Force Base in El Paso County, near Colorado Springs, Colorado. The nearby Cheyenne Mountain Complex has the Alternate Command Center, the NORAD Commander and Deputy Commander, respectively, a United States 4-star General Law equivalent and a Canadian 3-star General Law equivalent. Organization. CINCNORAD maintains the NORAD headquarters at Peterson Air Force Base near Colorado Springs, Colorado. The NORAD and USNORTHCOM Command Center at Peterson AFB serves as a central collection and coordination facility for a worldwide system of sensors, designed to provide the commander and the leadership of Canada and the U.S. with an accurate picture of any aerospace or maritime threat. NORAD has administratively divided the North American land mass into 3 regions: the Alaska NORAD region, under 11th Air Force, the Canadian NORAD region, under 1 Canadian Air Division, and the Continental U.S. region, under 01AF, CONRAF and ORTH. Both the CONR and CANR regions are divided into eastern and western sectors. Alaska NORAD region. The Alaska NORAD region maintains continuous capability to detect, validate and warn off any atmospheric threat in its area of operations from its Regional Operations Control Center at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Alaska. ANR also maintains the readiness to conduct continuum of aerospace control missions, which include daily air sovereignty in peacetime, contingency and/or deterrence in time of tension, and active air defense against manned and unmanned air-breathing atmospheric vehicles in times of crisis. ANR is supported by both active duty and reserve units. Active duty forces are provided by 11AF and the Canadian Armed Forces, and reserve forces provided by the Alaska Air National Guard. Both 11AF and the CAF provide active duty personnel to the ROCC to maintain continuous surveillance of Alaskan airspace. Canadian NORAD region. 1 Canadian Air Division P. Canadian NORAD region headquarters is at CFB Winnipeg, Manitoba. It was established on the 22nd of April 1983. It is responsible for providing surveillance and control of Canadian airspace. The Royal Canadian Air Force provides alert assets to NORAD. CANR is divided into 2 sectors, which are designated as the Canada East Sector and Canada West Sector. Both sector operations control centers are co-located at CFB North Bay, Ontario. The routine operation of the SOCCs includes reporting track data, sensor status and aircraft alert status to NORAD headquarters. Canadian Air Defense Forces assigned to NORAD include 409 Tactical Fighter Squadron at CFB Cold Lake, Alberta and 425 Tactical Fighter Squadron at CFB Bagotville, Quebec. All squadrons fly the McDonnell Douglas CF-18 Hornet fighter aircraft to monitor for drug trafficking in cooperation with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and the United States Drug Law Enforcement Agencies. The Canadian NORAD region monitors all air traffic approaching the coast of Canada. Any aircraft that has not filed a flight plan may be directed to land and be inspected by RCMP and Canada Border Services Agency. United States NORAD region. The Continental NORAD region is the component of NORAD that provides airspace surveillance and control and directs air sovereignty activities for the contiguous United States. CON is the NORAD designation of the United States Air Force 1st Air Force AFNORTH. Its headquarters is located at Tyndall Air Force Base, Florida. The 1st Air Force became responsible for the USAF Air Defense Mission on the 30th of September 1990. AFNORTH is the United States Air Force component of United States Northern Command. 01AF CONRAFNORTH comprises State Air National Guard fighter wings assigned an air defense mission to 01AF CONRAFNORTH, made up primarily of citizen airmen. The primary weapons systems of the McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle and General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon aircraft. It plans, conducts, controls, coordinates and ensures air sovereignty and provides for the unilateral defense of the United States. It is organized with the combined 1st Air Force Command post at Tyndall Air Force Base and 2 sector operations control centers at Rome, New York for the U.S. East ROCC in McCord Field, Washington for the U.S. West ROCC, manned by active duty personnel to maintain continuous surveillance of CONUS airspace. In its role as the CONUS NORAD region, 01AF CONRAFNORTH also performs counter-drug surveillance operations. History. NORAD was recommended by the Joint Canadian-U.S. Military Group in late 1956, approved by the United States JCS in February 1957, and announced on 1 August 1957. The establishment of command headquarters was on 12 September 1957 at Ent Air Force Base's 1954 blockhouse. The 1958 International Agreement designated the NORAD commander always be a United States officer, and Royal Canadian Air Force officers agreed the command's primary purpose would be early warning and defense for SAC's retaliatory forces. Quote, in late 1958, Canada and the United States started the Continental Air Defense Integration north from the SAGE Air Defense Network. Until December 1958, plans submitted by NORAD had average yearly expenditure of around $5.5 billion, including cost of the accelerated NIGS use program and 3 ballistic missile early warning system sites. Canada's NORAD bunker with a SAGE and FSQ-7 combat direction central computer was constructed from 1959 to 1963, and each of the USAF's 8 smaller and FSQ-8 combat control central systems provided NORAD with data and could command the entire United States air defense. The RCAF's 1950 Ground Observer System, the Long-Range Air Raid Warning System, was discontinued, and on 31 January 1959, the United States Ground Observer Corps was deactivated. The Cheyenne Mountain nuclear bunker's planned mission was expanded in August 1962, a hardened center from which CINCNORAD would supervise and direct operations against space attack as well as air attack. The Secretary of Defense assigned on 7 October 1960 operational command of all space surveillance to Continental Air Defense Command and operational control to North American Air Defense Command. The JCS placed the Ent Air Force Base Space Detection and Tracking System under the operational control of CINCNORAD on December 1, 1960, during Cheyenne Mountain nuclear bunker excavation, and the Joint SAC-NORAD exercise, Sky Shield 2, and on 2 September 1962, Sky Shield 3, were conducted for mock penetration of NORAD sectors. NORAD Command Center operations moved from Ent Air Force Base to the 1963 partially underground Combined Operations Center for Aerospace Defense Command and NORAD at the Cheyenne Building. President John F. Kennedy visited NORAD headquarters after the 5th of June 1963 United States Air Force Academy graduation, and on the 30th of October 1964, NORAD began manning the Combat Operations Center in the Cheyenne Mountain Complex. By 1965, about 250,000 United States and Canadian personnel were involved in the operation of NORAD. On the 1st of January 1966, Air Force Systems Command turned the COC over to NORAD. The NORAD Cheyenne Mountain Complex was accepted on the 8th of February 1966. 1968 Reorganization. United States Department of Defense realignments for the NORAD Command Organization began by the 15th of November 1968, and by 1972, there were 8 NORAD regional areas, 4 all-air defense, and the NORAD Cheyenne Mountain Complex. The Improvements Program became operational in 1979. False alarms. On at least 3 occasions, NORAD systems failed, such as on the 9th of November 1979, when a technician in NORAD loaded a test tape, but failed to switch the system status to test, causing a stream of constant false warnings to spread to 2 continuity of government bunkers as well as command posts worldwide. On the 3rd of June 1980, and again on the 6th of June 1980, a computer communications device failure caused warning messages to sporadically flash in U.S. Air Force command posts around the world that a nuclear attack was taking place. During these incidents, Pacific Air Forces properly had the planes in the air. Strategic Air Command did not and took criticism, because they did not follow procedure, even though the SAC Command knew these were almost certainly false alarms, as did PACAF. Both command posts had recently begun receiving and processing direct reports from the various radar, satellite, and other missile attack detection systems, and those direct reports simply did not match anything about the erroneous data received from NORAD. 1980 Reorganization. Following the 1979 Joint U.S.-Canada Air Defense Study, the command structure for aerospace defense was changed, e.g., SAC assumed control of ballistic missile warning and space surveillance facilities on the 1st of December 1979 from ADCOM. The Aerospace Defense Command Major Command ended the 31st of March 1980, and its organizations in Cheyenne Mountain became the ADCOM Specified Command, under the same commander as NORAD, e.g. HQ NORAD. ADCOM J-31 manned the Space Surveillance Center. By 1982, a NORAD off-site test facility was located at Peterson AFB. The dew line was to be replaced with the North Warning System. The over-the-horizon backscatter radar was to be deployed. More advanced fighters were deployed, and E-3 Sentry AWACS aircraft were planned for greater use. These recommendations were accepted by the governments in 1985. The United States Space Command was formed in September 1985 as an adjunct, but not a component of NORAD. Post-Cold War in 1989 NORAD operations expanded to cover counter-drug operations, e.g., tracking of small aircraft entering and operating within the United States and Canada. Dew line sites were replaced between 1986 and 1995 by the North Warning System. The Cheyenne Mountain site was also upgraded, but none of the proposed OTHB radars are currently in operation. After the September 11, 2001 attacks, the NORAD Air Warning Center's mission expanded to include the interior airspace of North America. The Cheyenne Mountain realignment was announced on 28 July 2006, to consolidate NORAD's day-to-day operations at Peterson Air Force Base with Cheyenne Mountain in warm standby, staffed with support personnel. In popular culture, movies and television, the NORAD Command Center was depicted in the satirical film Drive, Strange Love that starred Peter Sellers, and in the drama Fail-Safe, which starred Henry Fonda. Both films were released in 1964. A television adaptation of Fail-Safe starring George Clooney and Richard Dreyfuss was broadcast live on CBS in 2000. Cheyenne Mountain is a setting of the 1983 film War Games and the television series Jeremiah and Stargate. NORAD HQ is a retreat facility for NASA in the mid-late 21st century in the 2014 science fiction film Interstellar. In the film The Sum of All Fears, the Russian military intends to destroy NORAD headquarters. NORAD tracks Santa as a publicity move. On December 24, 1955, NORAD's predecessor, the Continental Air Defense Command, informed the press that CONAD was tracking Santa Claus's sleigh, adding that CONAD, Army, Navy and Marine Air Forces will continue to track and guard Santa and his sleigh on his trip to and from the U.S. against possible attack from those who do not believe in Christmas, and a Christmas Eve tradition was born, known as the NORAD Tracks Santa program. Every year on Christmas Eve, NORAD Tracks Santa purports to track Santa Claus as he leaves the North Pole and delivers presents to children around the world. Today, NORAD relies on volunteers to make the program possible.